Welcome everyone to the business show. So we just got live. I'm at a wedding today. So there's a wedding and Willie's down in Cape Town. So if you just joined on, just type in the comments that you're joining on, and if it's your first time, just pop in the comments as well that it's your first time. So today's business show is actually myself and Willie, and one of the areas it's pre-recorded, so I recorded stuff. Hey guys, myself and Willie recorded a video yesterday, and today's session is about how to start your online journey. What's the steps? What's the first step? What's the second step? So guys, please get a pen and paper handy. There's a lot of tools and tips and tricks that you need to do. There's a few things that you need to write down. So please write down your, or please get a pen and paper so that you can write down all the tips and tricks that we're going to share in this video. So I need to get onto the wedding. It's Heritage Day. So happy Heritage Day to everyone. And hope you have an amazing day. And hope you enjoy this pre-recorded webinar that myself and Willie did. So I'm just going to start the video, and then if everyone can just comment.
What's up?
Hey guys, welcome to today's business show. So I am Eugene, and this is my co-host Willie. So welcome to the show this week. This week we actually have a recording. Myself, I'm going to a wedding, and Willie's going down to Durban, eh?
Durban, yes. That's for the long weekend.
Yeah. So it's the first time that myself and Willie won't be able to attend the business show or present the business show on Thursday, which is quite an amazing thing that we've been running for a few months. So welcome to everyone that's joining us, and welcome to the viewers that it's their first time that they're joining the business show. We're still putting in a lot of effort for this show today and trying to make it as interactive as possible, and then secondly as valuable as possible. So stay tuned for another jam-packed session of the Ask Willie and Eugene business show. So Willie, before we get into
Let's go.
For the new viewers, who is EHQ and what's the business show about?
So hi guys, thank you for joining this business show. So EHQ started when we met a couple of years ago, and we kind of found a common topic, and that was entrepreneurship, and we realized how passionate we were about that, and we got talking about all the struggles that we've had as entrepreneurs, and you know how you could have overcome all of that struggles if you had some mentoring and guidance and things like that. So that's kind of where EHQ started off with. So we as a company exist because our purpose is to help businesses, entrepreneurs build and scale online. That's why we exist. So we help a lot of clients. We coach them in terms of business coaching to get their mindset ready to take this journey. And then we help them build sales funnels and so forth. And, you know, we partner with guys as well. So that's what we do as a company. And then we've got one thing that we've realized was entrepreneurship is quite a lonely journey, and it's something which we speak about quite a lot. So we've created this platform, this mastermind, where we will give you an opportunity later in the show. Currently, we have a special where you can join the mastermind and have access to all our online resources for only R9 the first month. It's really risk-free. It's not even the amount for a cup of coffee. And thereafter, it's R99. It's a monthly subscription. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. So yeah, thank you for joining the show. And then the purpose of the business show, that is our way to give back to people. So it's not something which we actually pay to work on the show. We can't do this without sponsors. Currently, eBiz Radio, go and check out their website. They're supporting us to get the word out there. Tribe Up from Will and them, they're helping us to go and to get the word out there. So if you would like to join us in this journey, please do get in contact with us. You can find our contact details on our website, and that's www.entrepreneurhq.co.za. Without further ado, let's jump into today's show, Eugene.
Thanks, Willie. So today's show, how to launch your business online, how to take it online. So this was inspired by quite a few requests that we get where we see entrepreneurs that wants to go online, or they've got existing businesses that they want to take online and they want to start selling their products and services online. And the biggest point that we see in our community as well, and from the guys that reach out to us, is they want to start this journey and they just don't. So the two reasons for procrastination, two of the biggest reasons, is one is you don't know what you want to do, so you never start. And then when you figure out what you want to do, you don't know what the actual steps are to get to that space. So that's what we want to do today, is just break it down, give you a few steps, tell you how we launch our online stores. So we've got quite a few online stores that we run. What is the process of setting up that online store and how easy it can be, and what's your first step that you need to do. So I hope everyone's got a pen and paper handy so that you can make notes, so you can write down 1, 2, 3, write down the notes. And
we'll keep it short and sweet. We'll keep it to 5 points.
Cool, Willie. So the first one is what we spoke about, is you need a product or service that you can sell online. There's a myth as well that you can only sell a product, but you can actually sell services quite effectively online as well. We use it in our businesses where we sell services. So the first step is a product or service that you need. The two mistakes that I see, and I think that you see as well, is companies and entrepreneurs and business owners wants to launch their product for their high-end product or their very expensive product, or they market their service directly. So for example, I'm an electrician, here's my number, call me if you want electrical work. What is the area that's incorrect about that?
So the biggest problem that we see all over the show is, and I had a consultation of a client this morning as well. First thing they want to do is they want to go online and they want to sell their, how can I call it, their flagship product from the get-go. And that's really the mistake that the majority of business owners make. They go for the jugular, and I've got a nice analogy where I said to this guy this morning, I said, you know, when you sell stuff online, it's like taking someone on a date, kind of. So the mistake that the business owners make, they go on this date and they propose to this person on the first date. So they try to get married. They don't follow the whole process of actually going for a coffee, then maybe going for another coffee, then going for dinner, and then build up a relationship.
So and then the process of building up trust and rapport and credibility.
Exactly.
You take your customer through that same process. It's not just for dating or relationships or anything like that. You have to take the customer through that same process. Because
that whole process
thing with the customer is still a relationship. You're building a relationship with a person. So you have to follow that same process.
Remember, people buy from people. So you build a relationship with these guys, you build their trust, and then at some point in time, you go and you sell your flagship product to them because they like you, they know you, and they trust you. So how you would do it is maybe go and have a look at the entry-level type of service. So Eugene, I mean, if we can take it back to our stuff, we've got our entry-level mastermind where we deliver quite a lot of value, but we don't really make money from that. We want to be building sales funnels for companies, big companies. It costs quite a lot of money, but in order for us to get to that point in time, we need to not convince a customer, we need to show our potential client that we are able to do this for them. And by following this process, having an entry point into the funnel, and you can literally think about, I mean,
well, Willie, if we take Time IT, for example, our point where we make money is when customers sign an SLA for 10,000 Rand a month, whatever, for us to look after their IT services. But that's not what we sell. So our first product is Office 365 for 65 Rand a month. So we make very low profit, well, low to none profits on our entry-level product, but that gets us through the door. And then we have to go and install it. And then it's like, okay, but you also write down what is your entry-level product, what's your next-level product, and what's your next-level product. So like Willie mentioned, for EHQ, is our entry one is free. Our next one is our mastermind subscription. We don't make money out of our mastermind subscription. The next one up is to try and help these guys build their businesses up to a level where they can then afford for us to do their marketing or their sales funnels, whatever it is. And through that, we're getting bigger businesses, and that bigger businesses say, listen, I don't have the time to do it. Can you do it for me? So that's a process of building trust and credibility. So go map out what is your first product, what's your second product, what's your third product. So what are you going to start off with? What is your lead magnet?
Yeah. And guys, so, you know, the entry point is you want to give something of high value and low cost. So just for the guys, that's all of you guys that's listening to this, and it works for the services and works for product businesses. It's something like an ebook or a webinar or something like that. So a lot of the times guys think that you need to ask money for the product, and that's not really the truth. It's just you kind of need to give something in return of high value, and that's where the real journey starts of selling that product. I mean, Eugene, on the webinar that we hosted, you know, we get guys that we found someone that's actually selling rocks online. So how the heck? And if you kind of believe, if you see that people can sell rocks online, then it actually means that you can sell anything online.
Yeah, go check it out, petrock.com. They sell
petrock.com.
And then, Willie, just a quick short question is, the product that you sell, it's not about selling the product, it's about selling the benefit of it. Just walk us through that quickly.
Yeah, so a common problem you've got to, this is something which I had to learn the hard way when it came to accounting services. There's really more accounting services than fish and chip shops in the country, or accountants than fish and chip shops. So the question that I had was, how do I sell my accounting services? Because you've got someone that's sitting there and they've got I always use the thing about, you've got a business who's got a cash flow issue. There's 10 accountants standing there, all of them, same gender, same price, same services. How would you know which one of these accountants to pick? And the answer is you won't know. It's going to be like an eeny, meeny, miny kind of thing. So back to the same business who's got a cash flow issue. There's 10 accountants standing there. 9 of them gives them exactly the same services, which is accounting, bookkeeping, and stuff like that. That really doesn't speak to his cash flow problems, but there's another accountant who's actually specializes in cash flow. Can you see how that accountant is actually resolving a problem for that client? So when you do, when you start selling stuff online, don't focus on the features of your product or your services. Focus on the benefits that they've got for your potential client and how you could solve that problem for them. So if you start following that process, you know, someone with that kind of problem will relate to you immediately when they see your online advertising and what you're going to bring to the party for them.
So get out your pen again. So for this particular exercise, so the first one was mapping out your thing, write down number 2, and then next to that, write down what is the problem that your ideal customer, which we'll talk about now, what is the problem that your ideal customer is struggling with, and how does your product or service solve that problem? That is the benefit of your product. The feature is, I'm an electrician and I fix this X, Y, and Z. The benefit of it is, let me help you get your house in a state where you can actually sell it, because that's most of the time when you do a COC. So that's just a quick example, but you can branch that out further. Cool. On to number 3, Willie, is platform. So the guys try and sell their services online where they just put a post on Facebook and they boost the post and they expect someone to phone them. But there's no process of building that trust. So what is the next step once you launch your Facebook ad or Instagram ad or however you generate traffic? What's the process then to get onto a platform?
Very good question. And personally, I think when I started off building online stores and businesses, that was one of the points why I kind of procrastinated the most. Because it's easy to go find a product and go write down your benefits. That you can do without any effort. I wouldn't say any effort, but I mean, if you sit and think about that, that's something you can achieve quite quickly. The next question is, you now need a platform. Without a platform, and I'm not talking about Facebook platform. Client that I consulted this morning asked me, could you please go and have a look at our Facebook page? We're selling stuff on our page and we just want some feedback and things like that. So I reviewed the platform, and my first impression was, you guys are selling on this platform. One thing that you guys need to understand is
value.
Social media is the party where people hang out. That's where all your potential clients are gathering. So they don't necessarily want to be sold for or be sold to whilst engaging in that platform. That's really a place where you're going to build trust, you're going to build value, you're going to give back to the community. But as soon as those guys are ready to buy, you want to take them off Facebook and you want to take them to your platform. So that your platform can either be a website, it can either be, well, it is a website. It's an online place where you can sell your services and stuff like that. And that's where I got stuck in the beginning, is because I'm an accountant and I'm really not too technical. So I don't know how to design things or websites and so forth. And
well, that's the myth, that you almost need a degree to build a website.
Exactly. So with a bit of research, we currently use Shopify, but there's WooCommerce, there's BigCommerce, there's WordPress. Eugene, you yourself, you build websites. So there's really platforms out there which is really, really easy to use. So you don't need to be technical. It kind of is like a step-by-step process which it takes you through. But the important thing is, this is your sales tool. So this is where you take people to, and this is where your payment gate lives. This is where you install your Facebook pixel so that you can retarget guys. So yeah, that's kind of where you wanna engage people on social media, take them to your platform, and that's really where the selling comes into.
It's a good metaphor. Is everyone at school is basically Facebook. That's where you build the credibility, and that's where you mingle, and that's where you build connections. And then you take them to your house, or invite them to your house to have the actual party. So that's the same as Facebook's the place where you mingle and where you build connections and you make friends. And from there, you take them through to your house, which is then your landing page or store, whatever it is. Just something I want to add on that as well, Willie, is a website doesn't have to be as complicated as it used to be back in the days, talking about yourself for 10 pages long and when the company was established and. Go and look at Takealot's website. That's a very good example. They're the biggest e-commerce business in South Africa. Go and look, when you land on their homepage, what do you see? You see Takealot and you see products. They are there to either purchase something or get in contact with you. They're not there to find out when you started the business and. It's good to have a video or something on for SEO purposes as well, where it gives the customer that part of the information if they do want it.
Yep.
The first part of it, almost your highest real estate, which is the top of your website, should speak to the customer's problems and how you are going to solve their problem. And then what action do they need to take to be able to do that? So write it down. It's what's the problem that you're solving? How is your product or service solving that problem? And then thirdly is, what is the action that they need to take to get in contact with you or to purchase the product or whatever it is. So websites can be really simple. And then, like Willie said, we Shopify quite a lot. We also build custom websites on WordPress and that sort of stuff. But for everyone starting out, and if you want to do it yourself, jump on Shopify. Within a couple of days, you can have your website up and running and you can have your products listed. Just a simple website with a store where your products and services are. That's really all you need.
And just one thing before we move on, Eugene, is just for everyone's sake. One thing that I see quite often, and I used to be like that as well, that's something which we both helped each other to overcome, was we try to get things too perfect. And because we're trying to get everything perfect, it really stops us from moving forward and getting these stores launched. Eugene, quite often we speak about an idea, and it might cost us a couple of grand to build this thing. But before we jump into that, we build a small scale down, and I think you call it minimum viable product.
Yeah.
So go map out the MVP. It's just, what is the least stuff that you need to actually launch the store, because you're going to be learning on this journey. So if you're going to try and build this thing all the way till the end, you might get in, you'll find that, it's actually not a viable thing to have. So just some tips for you guys is just get something on there. Your logo really doesn't matter. The name really doesn't matter. I mean, quite often launch a product or see what the uptake would be by just creating like a landing page with a funny URL and send traffic there and just see what's the sign up rate. And
I mean, we launch in a day. We launch a new product or new business in a day, where we just build a quick landing page, we generate traffic to it with a few call to actions, and we test and see what it does. So a lot of our ideas fail. And remember, you're making assumptions, so you constantly have to test that assumptions. And the same with, for example, EHQ, is we're trying to grow this community and build this community. Everything that we do is assumptions. Then we have to put money behind it and see if our assumptions are correct. So we want to have the smallest amount of exposure before we actually start that product.
Yeah, quite a funny story for all our mastermind guys who's in there. For you guys, it's not in there. So you can actually join this at a later stage. But our very first course that we've built, and you do also have access to that one, we actually sold our first course without actually having the course built.
Yeah.
And that was just purely using an online system, quickly building a landing page and testing it. So that's quite important. Is don't go and build this.
The course, we realized that we've got a viable product. And then the idea was just stay one step ahead of whoever's buying the course and build the course as the users go through the course. But that was one of our first courses, which we redone it quite extensively. Then, so now you've got your product or your service, then you've got your platform, but you're lying on page 300 of Google. So no one's going to find you. No one's going to know that your business actually exists. So the same in the old days where you had to run TV ads or billboards or list in the yellow pages or whatever, you still have to follow that same method to make your potential customer aware that you actually exist. So now the next step is to generate traffic. But before you generate traffic, you're going to have to potentially pay for that traffic, or you're going to have to do a lot of legwork on groups and that sort of stuff to generate free traffic or organic traffic. Before you generate traffic, you don't want to spend money on someone that's not your ideal customer. You only want to spend money on someone that you know is going to convert. So what is the process of finding out who is your actual customer, Willie? Who's your client avatar?
Who's your client avatar? We talk about that quite a lot. So, Eugene, to answer your question, there's quite a lot of methods to actually find that avatar. There's quite nice tools out there that you can use to go and populate it. But, one thing that I've done in my accounting business, so if you've been trading for quite a while and you take the clients that you've already got and you go and kind of bucket them into little groups, it's quite a strange thing, but you'll probably find that the clients that you've got the least resistance from and you get the most money from, those are the type of clients that you want. And then once you've got that, you can build it out from there. Just gonna give you an example. So I live in Pretoria. What I've realized is a lot of guys like to have one-on-one meetings for the accounting business that I've got. So when I initially started off with advertising on Facebook, I think the first mistake I made was I actually selected everyone in South Africa from the age of 18 to 105, and I want to advertise to all of them. The problem is that 99.9%. Yep, as we all, and I boosted a post, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So the first mistake I made was I just advertised to literally everyone in South Africa. And one thing that you need to realize, is that someone that's sitting in Pathfinder is probably not my ideal client. So why would I show an advertisement to him? That's why it's so important to know your actual customer avatar, because you're going to take this person that you've built, virtual person, and you're going to use Facebook to show that person a specific message which relate to those types of clients. So I'm going to give you an example. We're going through a campaign now where we decided we're going to target retail businesses in Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria, and Durban, because those are the main economic hubs, who's been trading for more than 5 years, with a staff complement of 50 people. That gives us a certain indication about the size of the business. And by the way, in the process of advertising to those people, we actually get them to give us back that information so that we can fact check that. And then once we've got our ideal person lead coming into the system, we still give value to everyone that comes into the system, but we only focus on the ones that actually meet our specific criteria, because those are the people or the businesses that we want to provide this specific solution to. And anyone can apply it to their businesses. It doesn't help you go sell a pink bicycle to a 11-year-old boy. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because they won't want to.
So I think to define your customer avatar, a good tip as well is if you have existing customers, go and look what's the general consensus across all your customers. So for example, in our coaching business is mostly male customers, and they're between the ages of 35 and 55, and they stay in a certain geographical area, and they've got certain particular interests. So go have a look at your ideal customer, because you don't want to be paying to generate traffic for someone that's not going to be your ideal customer. It doesn't mean that you're not going to take on anyone else. It's just from a niche perspective. So if you heard about the thing about niching your business, is going into a specific area which solves a specific problem. And then you only pay for the traffic where you have the highest converting lead. And when after you run your first campaign, it actually gives you metrics where you can go and have a look. How much did you pay for what type of customer, what the age were, the geographical location, the frequency, all that sort of stuff is in your reports that you get after your ads. And then you can start optimizing it. So firstly, you have your product, you have your benefits, you have your landing page, you've got your platform where you sell your products. And then the next one is to go and look at your customer avatar. So go and Google it. You can write it down, customer avatar. There's quite a lot of resources available for that. So the next step is to see what is your customer avatar. Now you're ready to start generating leads. We use Facebook quite extensively, although we do use other platforms as well. We get 80% to 90% of our results from Facebook. The mistake we see is that guys just run and they boost a post and then they expect to have certain results, which then ends up, every person that we see, we ask them, do you have a marketing strategy? Yeah, no, boost posts all the time. How many
only guy that's
from that?
Only guy that's smiling is Mark.
Yeah. So what is the correct way of running a Facebook ad, Vinny?
Not boosting a post. That's the number one.
So what do they go to do?
So what you want to do is Facebook on the back end. What you need to understand, Facebook is actually a marketing company. So everyone socializes on there, but they make their main revenue from advertising. And the way they do it is they've got a special back-end program called Facebook Business Manager. So that's a platform which looks completely different than what the Facebook you used to looks like. It's a specialized product which they've set up specifically for people that wants to advertise on their platform. And you kind of register that, you do set up, link it to your Facebook pages, and that is where you start running ads to your specific audience. And that's why it's so important. What makes Facebook very powerful, the way and the interest that they've accumulated on each of us, I think there was a court case in the UK where someone sued Facebook, and they asked them they would like to have a paper printout of all the interest that they've got for that specific person, and he eventually won the court case. And I think it was like a stack of papers like this.
220 pages.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is,
Facebook knows 220 pages of almost everyone, what your interest is, where you go, what websites you've visited, everything.
Yes, that's why it's so important.
For us who wants to market.
Yeah, exactly. It is really it's the number one targeting platform in the world. So if you like it or not, that is the reality. So guys like us go and build a customer avatar, and we use that customer avatar to start targeting the ideal clients that we would like to engage with. And we do it on various levels. So there's various type of advertisements which you can run on Facebook. There's engagement type of ads. There's conversion ads. We use it quite often. One thing that works for the services business is lead ads. And it is quite a complex system, but Eugene, both myself and you, we formally taught on this platform, and we really just experimented, and they've made it quite easy because it's like a step approach. So step one is, what's the name of the campaign? It's that easy. The next thing is, what type of advertisement would you like to run? And you select it. What is your daily budget? And then from there on, they take you through the whole process, and you kind of end up with this advertisement which you can then show to people. And I think, we're going through the same process every time we start a new product. So we literally this week set up our new retargeting campaign. That's what makes it powerful. As I mentioned earlier, that people try to get married to their girlfriends, on the first date. By using Facebook, you can actually nurture that relationship through a process electronically, which doesn't keep you busy doing it, so that you can focus on other things. And that's how powerful this is. So
if you don't join our mastermind, you'll probably see one of our ads.
Correct. So after this show, you will probably get a video which says, "Thank you for joining our show. Please join our mastermind." And the only way we can do that is we use the advertising platform, and that's the business manager platform on the back end.
Yeah. So then, to summarize what you just said, is don't boost a post, go and open a business manager account, which is fairly simple. You just have a click where you say create a business manager account, and you follow the process, and then go and create your first ad. It's a step-by-step process. It's got the copy at the top, your picture, and then a call to action button. That button, then either if you have a service-based business, we suggest you run a lead ad where it pops up the form, or if you're running a product, you have a conversion ad, which goes through to your website. So when they click on the ad, it goes through onto your website. Now, the next one is, with the last problem that we see, once someone decides on a product or service, they start their sales funnel, so they upsell a customer through a process. They've defined their customer avatar, and they start running ads. Then they run one ad, and then they stop and they say, "Oh no, my business doesn't work." So that's the last problem that we see. So what's the process of then following through with this, with the cycle of now you're generating leads and you advertising to your customers, and then they don't buy your product? What then?
So I think one thing that we speak about quite often is you can't fix what you can't measure. By setting up the system like we've just talked you through, by using online products or online software services to do sales, doing online advertising, digital marketing, these platforms kicks out some kind of a metrics. And there's so many of them, I can't give you an exact one. But let's say, for example, in our case, one of the conversion events would be website visitors. So we can run an advertisement for 7 days. And by looking at the conversions, in other words, the metrics that we've received from the platform that we use, we can then make a decision and decide that okay, this is maybe not a very successful advertisement or campaign. And then you can start putting measures in place, or start a follow-up ad, which you can then, for example, run for in conjunction of the other one, and then start switching off and switching on and changing budget. So it is something, it's like an iterative process. Eugene, I mean, you can, guys, we've been running webinars and business show paid ads since the beginning of the year. You know, we've spent thousands of rands on this stuff.
Well, our first ad was running 2014, so we've been running ads since 2014. Yes. December 2014, we did a live event. So it's since then, so 6 years. And we still don't know it. We still have to add, we still have to measure, we still have to improve, we still have to retarget.
Yeah, there's so many things. It gets quite complex. But the thing is, we have a tool that tells us that something is not running properly, and that gives us an opportunity without spending thousands and thousands. I mean, if you want to go advertise on a billboard, number one is, how do you know how many people have seen that billboard? You're going to pay like thousands of rands, and maybe the thing that you've advertised on there is being frowned upon, and overnight you get it like a really, really bad name for yourselves. Where if you do something online, immediately you'll see public not liking it quite a lot, so you can switch it off or change it, or you can take quick action steps to rectify the mistake. So I think the important thing is, Eugene, it's that thing of, you're looking for that piece of gold nugget, and you keep on digging and digging, and then eventually you just get so fed up, you actually just put down your tools, and you've literally been this close to success. So yeah, that's kind of...
So I think as well is when they say metaphor, someone thinks they're in the right place to find the gold nugget, they swing the axe, they lift up the ground, they don't see a gold nugget, they walk away. The idea is to keep going forward and keep changing and keep innovating. So the last thing is, just don't stop. You can spend as little as $100 to make an assumption on Facebook. Spend $100, go and measure it, improve it, run another $100. Measure it, improve it, run another $100. Don't stop. I mean, our first ad for this, for the online store, because we did other stuff before then, we had business automation and stuff like that. The first webinar for the online store was in October last year. And our cost per conversion has dramatically decreased since then. So it's a year later, but our cost per conversion and our assumptions and all that sort of stuff has dramatically improved. It would never have happened if we stopped on our first ad. Our first ad didn't generate any leads. Our second ad generated a couple of leads and no sales. And so we continuously improved. But if we stopped at that point, we wouldn't be where we are today. Now we've got a community, a big community of guys in our mastermind group. We've got the business show up and running. We've got other products that we're selling. We've built another company out of this. So none of that stuff would have been possible if we stopped. So I think the key for the last part is, once you've set everything up, don't stop. Keep going. It's hard to beat someone who quits.
So my piece.
That's it. Really, before you close off, just the last thing, guys. If you do want to join our mastermind, on the right-hand side should be an offer.
Anywhere there. Somewhere, yeah.
Offer up. So we're offering a special now. Our courses on how to build a sales funnel, how to run your first Facebook ad, Shopify course, cash flow, all of that sort of stuff. There's about 7 or 8 different courses in there. And then you get access to our mastermind and our monthly private Zoom meetings where you can ask us questions. And then we are on a WhatsApp group. So you join our WhatsApp group where you can communicate with myself and Willie. If you do want to join that and you want help in going through this journey and you want to be part of a community of like-minded people, click on the link. Otherwise, go to our website, entrepreneurhq.co.za/mastermind, and you can join our mastermind. If you put in the promo code PROMO-R9, you get your first month for R9. Like Willie said, less than a cup of coffee. What do you have to lose? There's nothing to lose. Join it, see if you like it, join our community. Willie, closing I sound like a lawyer. Any closing arguments from your side?
I won't argue today. All I'll just say is, guys, we know that it can be daunting to take your business online or starting a new venture. But if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. So first of all, take action. Second thing is, don't be scared to make mistakes. These things can be rectified, and especially in the online world, it's something which can be done with little cost to, it's a little cost. Then the third thing is just consistently do the things that you need to do. Just don't stop. Just continue. Eugene, you often say, I got successful. What's the thing? I got successful overnight after 20 years or something like that. It's because
I was I was an overnight success.
Overnight success. It's just because people, they consistently apply that. So that's all I want to leave you with today. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Go and braai now. Happy Heritage. And then we'll see you next week.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for you, the viewer. Without you, we can't have the show. So thanks for joining. Hope this was valuable. Hope this can move you into the right direction. If you want to be with like-minded people, you are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. If you want to lift that circle of influence, join our mastermind group, connect with myself and Willie, and just go out there and put out the action. Just execute. Never stop hustling. Guys, we'll see you on the next episode next week, Thursday. Cheers.